Holy muffins, what's going on, peeps? Hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to the show. I take one weekend off, and you know what happens? One of the crazier stories I've seen in the Valorant space in a long freaking time, that being an impersonator, not of just any team out there, but that being of FaZe Clan and their manager Infamous, someone out there impersonating FaZe Clan to the extent of getting a roster together thinking they're about to join FaZe Clan Academy for Valorant, and it's all just, well, a hoax. It was an insane story. I've got a lot of screenshots and things to show all of you guys. It's crazy. It all starts with T-Dog taking to Twitter and, of course, to YouTube, posting a full-length video explaining the situation. As he says, this will explain everything you need to know regarding Joseph Silent Oliver impersonating and deceiving FaZe Clan to the project team that we were on. That, of course, misleading several names that are listed in that tweet to think they were going to be joining FaZe Clan's Academy roster. The idea being that this so-called Silent got the roster together and started spinning some lies up. It seemed lighthearted at first, but then once engulfed in his own lie, he kept going step by step further into his own lie, acting as if he was the manager for FaZe Clan Valorant, which actually is Infamous, going so far as to fake messages between him and Infamous that never happened, but relaying those messages to the players also involved in his web of lies. It just gets creepy right off the bat, by the way, where he would sit in scrims for weeks, hour by hour, sitting in scrims with players that he knew he was blatantly misleading to think they were a part of FaZe, while he knew they weren't at all.
Today I'm going to be talking about a situation of a player named Joseph Oliver, aka Silent, who tricked 7 to 8 people into thinking that they were going to be signed as FaZe Academy by impersonating the FaZe manager Infamous. Explaining to us how we need to play together, scrim, play in tournaments, and he'll watch the VODs, and if it shows potential, then he'll draft up some contracts for us, and we'll go from there. Focus on this and pursue it. And that's the main problem, is that this guy, Silent, would sit there day in and day out when we scrimmed. Every hour, every round, he would hear it in our voices after scrims when we talked about it, how we were so ready for this, so excited, so hopeful for the future, how this could really make us as players and coaches. We told our family members, our IRL friends, that obviously wouldn't leak any information because they're not a part of the Tier 3, Tier 2, Tier 1 Valorant scene. This is a life-changing decision that you have just completely made up, you know? God forbid one of us were to make an impulse purchase or, commit to something we shouldn't have committed to because of this. You know, that person would really be in a rut right now. And there's no helping it, and there's no going back because he's already run away, blocked us all, changing his name, IP, all this other stuff. And, that's the situation that we were left in.
I mean, this guy, this sick person went out of his way to promise people who could be pursuing other opportunities, absolutely wasting their time saying, hey, you got 2-month contracts coming up, maybe some guaranteed money of thousands of dollars. Imagine, like T-Dog points out, you get that commitment, or you're told that, you go out and you buy some great equipment, you buy a great computer, you buy some gear that you can't afford because you think you have money coming in and a great opportunity. You're right at the doorstep, when all in all, you later find out it's a freaking lie. And like I said before, he went as far as to impersonate that FaZe Clan manager, dropping messages that he would send to the players that he apparently had gotten from Infamous, but that wasn't true whatsoever. And yes, it just kept on going and going. Even so far, you realize, and I think he realized as well, at some point it's trying to make roster decisions for this group of guys that did not make any sense, because I think he was trying to get out of it, right? You drop one of your best players and all of a sudden everything crumbles and you're not at fault for everything falling through. And so that ultimately led to the whole roster being suspicious, but it took weeks and weeks of time for them to realize. I mean, you guys got to imagine, right? We saw FaZe 5. We know FaZe as an esports and an entertainment and a gaming organization, one of the bigger names out there. You got to realize what an opportunity that could be for so many players out there to be told you're going to be paid, you're going to be joining, and FaZe Clan Valorant, the fastest rising esport out there, just to find out you're being lied to which he later on, he actually did apologize. First, I'm going to read for you the response to the situation of FaZe Clan's Valorant actual manager, that being Infamous, the guy who was impersonated. I mean, that's got to be a real weird situation to be in, that someone is out there impersonating you during doing your job that he's not supposed to be doing. As Infamous said, this silent kid is an absolute creature. Don't let him anywhere near anything you're doing. I feel so bad for this team. Manipulated and lied to for months by a guy pretending to be me. Just disgusting behavior. Guy's a complete sociopath, which if you look at all the replies on T-Dog or Infamous posts, apparently the same guy Silent has been doing some pretty suspicious things for quite some time. I believe also stemming from a different esports scene, possibly also being Fortnite. It's just very unfortunate his same shams have actually led into Valorant as well. And here's where it gets all the worst is luckily enough I took screenshots before his account was actually deleted or taken down. He himself, Silent, did attempt to respond to this situation, which I don't think there's a single response out there that can make up for the disgusting behavior he did do, misleading several players out there, wasting their utter time, and yes, and not only misleading but completely lying to them about a future opportunity. It's disgusting the things that this guy did. He did try and explain himself away with a twitlonger and some follow-up tweets. They've now been taken down with his account, but it wasn't a good apology, as I'm sure a lot of you expected. As he says, for starters, yes, I am aware I'm a crappy and a manipulative person. Hopefully the situation can allow me to become a functional human being. The entire situation boils down to me being awful at the video game. Through my life, I have always looked at myself as a winner, or as at least as someone that could be good or decent at whatever I put my mind to. Valorant, along with other things that I am probably blind to, I am not good at all. I never saw myself being good at the game, but for some reason thought that I could get better with time. Obviously, also not the case. This summer, I wanted to give the game one more shot and wanted to build a team to grind with. He then goes on to explain how he wanted to build his own roster and to convince some people to sign. He said he could actually get them to sign in the future to a team like FaZe, and I'm going to skip past a bunch of this as a TLDR. Pretty much, he became engulfed in his own set of lies after he lied to one player, then several joined. All of a sudden, he has a full team that he thinks he can sign to a better team like FaZe, and once he was that far in, promising opportunities, I mean, what he calls the constructed web of lies that built larger and larger, it went downhill so fast. And then he talks about some kind of final lie he did to try and pull the plug on the entire thing, and finishes up by saying, bottom line, this whole situation was created because I'm a selfish person who looks out for himself before anyone else. I hope to be able to grow from this, and I'm not posting this in any way for sympathy or to ask for forgiveness. I do not deserve it. All of the comments about me, I deserve 100%. To the team, I realize there is nothing to be said to change your outlook on this at all. I deserve your hatred. I do not deserve to be forgiven. I want nothing more than you guys to stick together and find a fifth that isn't an anchor, so your last month of having to put up with me was not a complete waste of utter time. And then goes on in his Twitter replies to keep on apologizing as well. So an utterly crazy story, a disgusting story. Make sure to go check out those Twitter posts. All of those players are also tagged in them as well if you want to show them some support. It's just try and understand. I'm sure someone out there watching is an aspiring gamer or streamer or pro player. Imagine being in their shoes, being promised an opportunity with FaZe Clan Academy and one of the fastest rising esports out there to date, and all of a sudden you find out weeks later, after wasted time, it was all just a lie, and a manipulative lie at that, and a disgusting one even more so. What do y'all think? We got tons of stories today. You hang in there, all right? You drink some water, drink some coffee. I'll catch you back here sometime soon. Take care.